Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
John Ohm in Winnipeg says, I need, in all caps, the itinerary of the RP show visit in Winnipeg. He's on the schedule.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because we are going to plan a meet and greet in Winnipeg for you and I prior to the Bombers game tomorrow night. So unfortunately, we're not going to be allowed to bring you guys into our live show inside Canada Life Center. It's they're not letting anybody in who's not double vaxxed, and we have to put people on a list, and it's a whole process. But we'll be in the arena doing the show, but we'll do a meet and greet before the game somewhere. I don't know if we want to talk about where yet because it's not booked.
Well,
but we can.
You people in Winnipeg, please let me know through the variety of channels that I outlined earlier where you think that we should go. Because right now I've got two locations in mind. Hooters, Obvi. And the Pony Corral, the one right by the stadium. You tell me which will work. I'm a little partial to Hooters.
Yeah, I think that's where I want to go for the pregame meal too. So we're probably thinking, 5 o'clock to 7:30 kickoff. 4:30 maybe we got to be at Hooters.
Well,
but we're going to tweet it. Okay, it's going to be on our Twitter feed, and we'll put it on Instagram tomorrow early in the day so you'll know where the meet and greet is. And we'll tell you about it tomorrow during the show, but we're going to do a meet and greet before the football game.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Friday night football tonight. Toronto at Winnipeg. We'll be there.
How about that?
Winnipeg favored by 6. The over-under is 47.5.
Well, that's an easy one. I'll take Toronto to beat the spread and win straight up. I got the Argos to win at Winnipeg. Don't at me.
Spicy.
I got Winnipeg to win straight up, but Argos will cover the spread.
Look at us with the betting lingo.
From the Slurpee Capital, live from Winnipeg, it's the Rod Pedersen Show.
Yeah, we are live. Hello, Canada. Canadian sports fans around the world. It's the RP Show. It's a Flame Tech Football Friday. As mentioned, we are coming to you live from Canada Life Center in Winnipeg. It's the brand new name of the home of the Winnipeg Jets. Moose DuPont's with me. What camera am I looking at? Right here? I feel like I'm camping a little bit. You know how that is, Moose, right?
Oh, I know.
It's awesome, though.
Oh, it's pretty great.
It's awesome. We're on location. We're at the World Junior Lacrosse Championship here. And I feel like so much has happened since yesterday's show. That was yesterday's show, that intro there, was it not?
Yeah. There has been so much that has happened, and especially even this morning, right? You always talk about when we come on the air in the morning that that's the beauty of daytime sports talk. It's like so much has already happened today that we could, yesterday feels like an eternity ago with the stuff we've been through.
We're still doing our usual things. I was just tweeting the links to watch the show. Listen live. You can watch on Facebook or YouTube, or, of course, we're live, as always, on Game Plus Television across all 10 provinces and 31 states. I don't have my bell to ring or anything like that, but that's okay. We'll go through our usual stuff. We got guests joining us here at Canada Life Center coming up in Hour 1. Andrew Hustler Patterson, the star of Winnipeg Sports Talk. He'll be right here on the set. If you've noticed, by the way, if you're used to watching Winnipeg Jets broadcasts on TSN3. This is Sarah Orlesky's desk, so we thank Sarah for graciously obliging us to, take over her home for a little while. And also coming up in Hour 2, the sports doctor, Dave Petrishen. But as we mentioned, we're at the World Junior Lacrosse Championship, and we're going to be joined a little later on by Jeff Dowling, who's one of the head coaches for this World Junior Championship here in Winnipeg. That's the reason we're here, by the way. I got to say, we went to Montreal. We went to the Stanley Cup Final. We were invited to go there. And then, I don't know, Moose is the guy. You people, need to understand that he's the business guy. I got it. He's the business guy. So you want to talk about Chris Fox before we get into the football stuff, and it's Football Friday, how this came about with the lacrosse, please?
Yeah, it was, they reached out. They watched the show. They reached out and said, you guys should come do your show here and we'll put you up and we'll take care of you and everything else, but you got to come and see this. And it's unfortunate that we're sitting here in COVID because there would be 6, 7, 8, 9 teams here from all across the world for the World Junior Lacrosse Championship, but that's not the case. So it's Canada. So it's East versus West. Canada's playing. They've been playing throughout the week. They'll play tonight, and I believe tomorrow night as well, to determine a champion. And this has happened before, but next year they'll be back here in Winnipeg, middle of August again, and there will be, 6 to 9 teams playing for the World Junior Lacrosse Championship.
I absolutely feel like we're in our element here right now because you can probably hear the guys down here. They call it a shoot-around, right?
Yes.
It's that much.
That's
I
right.
know. We know enough about lacrosse to get through it. And so I can say that this is the shoot-around. Now, I put a lot of photos on my social media of the Canada Life Center, and the lacrosse fans, the NLL fans are going, lacrosse floor in Winnipeg. They would love an NLL franchise in Winnipeg.
Well, and we were getting, escorted up here by arena
Tony.
staff and Tony, arena security. You're so good with those names. I love it. And he's like, I haven't had a chance to work the night games, but this is like the best lacrosse I've ever seen. I'm like, you guys don't have NLL. So this might be the precursor just to, again, it's introducing it to more people. And lacrosse is just growing and growing in all these markets across the country. And it's been so neat to see, and we're starting to see more kids play it, at scale. So this is fun.
This is the warm-up, by the way, as brought to you by our friends at Ecole Electric. Come check out our new Regina Data and Lighting Center. Ecole Electric, let's get to work. I could sit here and talk about lacrosse all day, and for the most part, we will be talking a lot about it. I can't wait for Hustler to get down here. He's here, by the way. Hustler's in the building!
How about that?
This reminds me of the Hub Center. This reminds me of the Brand Center when I forget how loud my voice echoes off the walls in here. And then the other thing. So we're walking down here, 45 minutes ago?
Oh, yeah, more than that.
And you gotta go to our social media, our Facebook, our Instagram, the Rod Pedersen Show, Darren's personal. There's something going on across the street from Canada Life Center here. And we stopped, right?
Well, it's about 9:30 local time here in Winnipeg, and we're walking down, and we see there's a Dale Howardchuk poster in the back, about the statue coming next August and everything else. But they're all set up for a press conference, so we're taking our photos and our videos, and then all of a sudden we get stopped.
Yeah. So we're standing there looking at this Dale Howardchuk statue mural, and this lady comes up, and she's to you first. She goes, "The Rod Pedersen Show crew," and you're like, who is this person?
Right. Didn't recognize her right away.
Now, longtime friend of mine, Christina Litz, former VP of Marketing for the Canadian Football League. She's now with True North and the Winnipeg Jets and this entire sports conglomerate here. And here's her thing. She says, we're making an announcement here. You guys are coming inside the ropes, and you're going to be part of this. So get in here. So, yeah, I think it's very Winnipegish that they would be very welcoming and hospitable to us. Very Winnipegish. And here's the thing before we move on to the football, because it is a Flame Tech Football Friday. I saw Kevin Cheveldayoff. Trust me, I saw him out of the corner of my eye, but I was trying to sort of not distract him. And they were announcing, by the way, Dale Howardchuk Way, a street just outside the rink here, and then in a year from now, they're going to have the statue. But can you please tell our viewers about Chevy? This is
Well,
cute.
He's a Saskatchewan guy, right?
Right.
So he sees you walking in, and he sees the shirt and sees us, and he starts eyeing you up as you're walking into the what is he doing here of all people, right? But,
I felt like Chevy. I'm kind of wondering the same thing, Chevy. I'm kind of wondering. I was invited in. So the general manager of the Winnipeg Jets. I just can't tell you. Well, he's from Blaine Lake, Saskatchewan, of course. So we do stick together, and he's done a tremendous job. So anyways, that's our Winnipeg story so far. And let's get to the quick six show topics, please.
Now,
it's coming.
Yeah, but I believe what you hear in your ears is also 3 seconds behind? Okay.
I probably, Jordan's, who knows? So, number one. Okay, well, we got half our crew here and half our crew are at home, so it's all good. So, the number one topic is the Lions 15, the Stampeders 9 last night on Thursday Night Football. Man, we're going to settle into this, Patterson will have some thoughts on this. Hustler. A game-time decision to start Mike Riley for the BC Lions led his team to a 15-9 victory over the Calgary Stampeders on Thursday Night Football. Michael Riley completed 26 of 33 passes for 342 yards and ran for a 1-yard touchdown as the Lions bounced back from a Week 1 road loss at the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Takiro Yamasaki kicked a pair of field goals and a single for BC, while James Butler ran for a 2-point convert. Nursing a calf injury, Bo Levi Mitchell went 21 for 38 for 290 yards for the Stamps. He also threw 4 interceptions, career high, and the Stampeders turned the ball over on downs once. So that's 5. So there's that, which I'll combine with point number 2, and that is this Riley Rourke saga. I said on this show yesterday that the game was going to be over early. It was going to be a laugher. And why? Because we were told all week that Nathan Rourke was going to be the starting quarterback for the BC Lions, the rookie. All of a sudden, Mike Riley starts. Listen, I don't care. I said I put my money on the Lions. I don't bet. I picked them for this reason to win, and I don't really care whether I was right or wrong on that, but people are furious. Bettors are furious. And I don't know if you saw Twitter, Moose, but people are saying, I'm never taking Rod Pedersen's fantasy advice again. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I never asked you to in the first place, bro. So for what? I'm not that betting guy. I don't want anybody taking my fantasy advice, but I'm going to make my picks weekly, and it's starting to become a thing, Darren.
No, it really is. And what do you do, right? I mean, for BC, they listed him as questionable. Game time decision did all of that. But, I mean, all week long, you said you were going to start this guy, and you didn't. And he takes the warm-up, too, and then Mike Riley comes out of the tunnel as the starting quarterback. Now, Mike Riley did not look like Mike Riley last week. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, he looked like he was not hurt.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. He was throwing the ball all over the field. He had over 200 yards passing in the opening half. So it was a really good game by Mike Riley, but it's being overshadowed by this. Is he playing? Is he not? How are you guys, determining your starting quarterbacks? And all this confusion has kind of become the storyline, not this great effort by the BC defense and Mike Riley.
Well, and I see that the CFL media, I've heard from the fans, I've heard from the bettors, but I see the media saying the same thing. Dave Naylor from the CFL on TSN panel saying this. In what week are the Lions going to start the guy that's number 1 on their depth chart? When are they going to start him at quarterback? And we talked about this last week. I'm almost tired of it. Rick Campbell, the head coach of the BC Lions, doesn't care about these things. Betting lines, storylines. He doesn't care, Darren, but he's going to need to start to care because Rick Campbell, this is how you're going to get paid. This is what's going to get you a raise.
No, it
right?
is.
This is becoming a thing in the Canadian Football League because you said it last night. We're watching the game at the Keg, and you're like, bettors aren't going to be interested in betting on the CFL. There's a lot of other options out there to bet on, and if you can't take these teams' word with regards to injury status, starters, they're just going to move on. They're 2 weeks into this thing, and I feel like they're close to blowing it, Darren.
Yeah, it's tough. You want to get this off the ground, and bettors need to have all the information, right, when you're going to make these decisions. And oftentimes, whether, as we've seen last year with our relationship that we had with Come On, we did a lot of segments and a lot of betting around the NFL. And that's where, to be honest, most Canadians will do a lot of that betting in the NFL. We know Hustler does a lot of betting too, right? With the other programs that he does, on his social media and whatnot. And the NFL is a big part of that. So when we're going to the Sports Select or we're going to go to different fan books and sports books and place our bets in the NFL, if there's a team that we don't know who's playing or what the injury status is or we're not sure, we don't put less money on it. We just put nothing on it, right? We don't even think about that game. We move on to other games, other teams, other leagues, right? And so for now, the bettors are just ignoring the BC Lions, or at least they will start to if they haven't already.
It's my commentary this morning on Cat Country and Rock 98.5 FM. The BC Lions are very close to blowing this entire sports betting thing for the Canadian Football League. That's my thoughts on that. By the way, our poll question today is Winnipeg themed, and producer Clark came up with it for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Who's Winnipeg's biggest sports icon? And we took the word of the usher, Tony, on our way up here. And so obviously we just came from the Dale Howard-Chuck announcement, right? So we were like, Ducky's obviously won. And he said Ken Plain, right? Right out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Ken Plain. legendary Bomber quarterback, days gone by. Then he also said Robert Marvin, and I'm like, don't know who that is. I said, how about Milt Stegall? And he was like, seems like he wasn't the biggest football fan.
Maybe not, but he had one pretty big one you talked about already.
Ken Plain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously we wanted to put Howard Chuck on there because of what has gone on this morning.
But I said, how about Tamo? And he's like, Bobby Hull. As a matter of fact, I think he said Robert Hull.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
So we're sitting in the stands here at Canada Life Centre looking up at the rafters, which is over my shoulder, and I won't ask the guys to put the camera up there, but we're looking at all the retired numbers. Solani's number ain't up there. Okay? So this is what we've settled on for the all-time Winnipeg sports icons poll. Ken Plain, Dale Howard-Chuck, Milt Stegall, or Bobby Hull. And on Twitter, 72% of respondents are voting for Ducky Dale Howard-Chuck. And on the very day that they announced Dale Howard-Chuck Way and that there will be a statue erected 1 year from now, right across here from True North Square, Dale Howard-Chuck leading the poll, and I assume he's going to win it. We move along, Moose, because it is a Flame Tech Football Friday, to point 3. By the way, Flame Tech, locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. NFL last night, the Pittsburgh Steelers beating the Philadelphia Eagles 24-16 in preseason play, and the New England Patriots downing the Washington football team 22-13. How much stock are we putting in preseason game 1 for 3 of those 4 teams? I'm ready to move on, but I'm sure that you've got some thoughts on that.
Well, yeah, in preseason football, the biggest question, and I think the biggest storyline that came out of it was Dwayne Haskins, the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the backup to Ben Roethlisberger, who we don't know, how much he has left in the tank, how many years he's got left. They're looking for a successor, and Dwayne Haskins, when he came to Washington, out of college, he was, pretty highly touted, and he was the future of that organization. Obviously, that didn't work out. Ron Rivera decided he wasn't the guy. They got rid of him, and he landed in Pittsburgh. Well, what did he have? Over 160 yards passing. He led 4 straight scoring drives for Pittsburgh in that game yesterday. Dwayne Haskins very well might be the guy in Pittsburgh should something happen to Ben Roethlisberger. And seeing him, although it's the preseason, watching him play well. We know Pittsburgh's got a good defense and they've got some weapons. If something were to happen to Big Ben during this season, Pittsburgh's not lost. We've now seen that Haskins can come in and at least steady the ship a little bit in Pittsburgh. So that's the storyline I took away from last night.
From viewer Alan writing us on Twitter regarding the betting thing. I don't know where we stand on this. Hustler will have some thoughts. But Alan writes, the addiction of betting is starting to get really ugly, both emotionally and financially. Then don't do it, dude. Then don't do it. What are we going to do? We're going to walk away from betting in the Canadian Football League because it makes you feel uncomfortable? Don't do it. Do you know, what are the top 3 industries in the world are arms, pharmaceuticals, and illegal drugs. There's a lot of money in it. I stay away from all 3, and my life's great. Gambling isn't in there. But listen, if you got a problem with betting, walk away from it. Come on. By the way, point 4, Angels Blue Jay show. Hey, Ohtani pitched 6 innings of 3-hit ball to win his 3rd consecutive start, and he also doubled and scored an early run in the LA Angels 6-3 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays last night. It was a great game. We watched that one at the Keg, too. Point 5, Field of Dreams. It was a Hollywood ending. Can you believe this?
Oh, my gosh.
Everything happens for a reason, right? Things just happen the way it should. The Chicago White Sox won the Field of Dreams game in Dyersville, Iowa, blowing a 7-4 lead in the 9th before Tim Anderson slammed a 2-run walk-off homer into the cornfields, a 9-8 win over the New York Yankees. And lastly, point 6, here at the World Junior Lacrosse Championships, it was last night. Canada East beating Canada West 15-9. Tanner Buck, he's coming on my radar big time. Hey, Tanner Buck, this guy's a stud. You got to go look up the Twitter account for the 2021 WJLC. 2021 WJLC, all the highlights from last night's game right here at Canada Life Center. Nice work, Moose.
Yeah, great stuff.
We'll see you in a bit.
You bet.
Hustlers in next on this live Winnipeg edition of a Flame Tech Football Friday, coming to you from the Canada Life Centre. You're watching on Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook live streaming, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at Flame Tech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Back now to the Rod Pedersen Show, live in Winnipeg.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. We are coming at you live from Canada Life Centre here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. It's a Flame Tech Football Friday. Very excited to be joined by our good friend Andrew Paterson, the star of Winnipeg Sports Talk, Hustler. How you doing, Huss?
Rod, it's great to see you. I was just saying, this is the first time I've done one of these interviews in person in like 7 or 8 months.
I'm glad that I could be the first in 7 months.
I'll tell you what, it's great to have you guys here in the Peg. We've got a big football game tonight, exciting lacrosse event happening, and of course you guys walked by a huge day for the city and the Jets organization with the announcement of the Dale Hawerchuk statue. You picked a good day to come
it's
to the
a
Peg.
wonderful day to be in Winnipeg. There's absolutely no doubt about that. By the way, our poll question, I don't know if you heard us talking earlier, was who's the biggest Winnipeg sports icon? And our options were Bobby Hull, Dale Howard-Chuck, Ken Plain, and Milt Stegall. You'd be the guy to ask. Somebody wrote in and said, Evander Kane? Patrolman Pete. So there's some funny, put-on-bump. Did we get the right four?
Well, I mean, I guess if you're going to all-time pro sports icons, I mean, those would be, we had a funny conversation on the show coming out of the big win on Friday for our women's national soccer team at the Olympics. And, we were speaking about Winnipeg people. And Terry Sawchuk, of course, had an incredible career, older, very different generation, and his career ended early. But, I mean, you've got Jonathan Toews, you've got Cindy Klassen, you've got Clara Hughes, and now Desiree Scott with her gold medal, 3 medals in a global sport that captured this country. I mean, Desiree's right up there as well, certainly amongst this current generation. So I guess it's somewhat of a different question. But, the 4 that you mentioned for all-time contributions here in the city of Winnipeg as pros, pretty good group.
Did you mention Jennifer Jones? Did you mention her in the group?
Well, Jennifer Jones, this was a big part of the conversation.
Right.
I mean, Jen Jones certainly is in the mix.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're going with 4, I mean, who are we taking out? That's one of these great sports radio conversations,
isn't it?
That we can get going for a long
and a
time.
great, to have so many options is a great thing for Winnipeg. Right now, listen, I got to get your take on the betting and the CFL because I'm saying the BC Lions are ruining sports betting. Is that too hot of a take?
I'll tell you what. If you're betting the CFL, they're probably on your suspended list going into week 3. I mean, how are you supposed to take seriously what the BC Lions are saying when you're going to go get your ticket ready for the week? And listen, for people that are betting the CFL, it's important to note that the first couple of weeks have been very strange. With all the excitement about sports betting and the growth of it and the legalization of single-game wagering, it's been impossible to find a damn line for these games, but I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, the bookmakers, Rod, have been in a big staring contest with each other, waiting to see who puts out the line. I mean, some of the biggest, most reputable books right now, even this morning before I came in, hadn't put out a line for the Bombers and Argos. That game is tonight. That's going to change going into the next couple weeks, so I think, bettors will have the information earlier. But as far as the BC Lions go, I mean, how do you trust what's happening with BC even an hour before the game? I mean, they've started their number 2 guy on the depth chart the last 2 games right now. And I know Mike Riley doesn't really care, and I'm not sure whether Rick Campbell cares. They're probably happier that they got a big win last night in Calgary. But it's certainly an issue for the Canadian Football League because if you want people to have the trust that the information they're getting has the integrity that gives them the confidence to make an educated decision on whatever side they are, they will do that. If they don't believe that's there, they're probably going to shy away, certainly from the BC Lions for the next little while.
Well, my take on that is that Rick Campbell does not care. Clearly, he just wants to win a football game. He almost did at Saskatchewan. He did last night, but I'm thinking, Rick, you might want to pay a little more attention to this because this is what's going to get you paid and get you a raise in the future. This is about the future of the Canadian Football League.
Well, no, 100%. I mean, I agree with you. I think it's very important that they get on side and essentially give us the style of information we get every week from the NFL injury reports and actually give us legit information. As far as Rick Campbell goes, I mean, is he even running the show there? It certainly didn't look like he was in week 1. I mean, that scene of him doing the halftime interview, talking about how, well, it just wasn't going to work today. It's in the best interest of the team if work starts. And they literally pan out to the field and 13 is running up behind center. I mean, you couldn't write it. Listen, it seemed a little bit ridiculous. If I'm in the CFL front office, I'm not too pleased with it. But I think it's going to be a bit of a process right now. This is different. And God knows. I mean, I'm thinking what happens with hockey as they get towards it. I mean, the upper body and lower body injuries. The NFL has been the guideline essentially for how this works. It's the biggest sport when you're talking about sports wagering. It's football and everything else. There's a huge opportunity for the Canadian Football League to benefit from this and get more fans and more people paying attention to the games. But it will be a real negative if people think that, they're going into games thinking one thing and then realizing that one of the CFL teams in their mind pulled a fast one on them and now they're sitting with a bet on the bad line.
2 straight weeks.
Back to back.
2 straight weeks they've done it. Okay, I would love to go further down this road, but we do have Bombers Argos tonight. You said that I can't find the lines either from where I normally go, the betting lines. What would you set it at tonight? Can I go first? Winnipeg, 2.5. Favorite.
You know what? Keep in mind that the home team generally gets 3 points for being home. So, essentially, if that's the case, that would mean that on a neutral field, the Argos would be a half-point favorites. So I wouldn't go that far. I would think that the Bombers would be sort of 3-point favorites on a neutral field. So you add the 3 points, and we were looking in and around 6. I think I did see a line earlier in this week that was 6.5. And to be honest with you, I think I'm going to take the points. I do like the Bombers to win this game. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They're the top dogs and had a great game. But, man, I was impressed with the Toronto Argonauts. I thought this would be a work in progress that would take a while to bring all these new faces and free agents together. But it was really cool to see former Bomber QB Ryan Dinwiddie out there. A lot of passion on the sidelines. And his team stepped up and did it. So, if that number is in and around 6.5, I think this is going to be a great football game. I think it'll be, it'll be in doubt in the fourth quarter, and I'll probably take the points if that is the case. But I'm feeling pretty good about the Bombers getting it out. This should be a great one tonight on Friday Night Football.
Have you ever had Johnny Avello on your shows? Do you know Johnny Avello?
Johnny's the best. The Godfather, man. One of the most legendary bookmakers in the industry all time.
Ask him about that 3.5 home thing, because he says that's a misnomer. He doesn't go by that. Ask him the next time you're talking to him. But I got the Argos to win tonight for a couple of reasons. I think they're very good. Number one, they've got less injuries. Like, how much does the absence of Andrew Harris and Darvin Adams really hurt the Winnipeg Blue Bombers? It didn't, I guess, last week, but...
One more than the other, and I'll bet, the common people might think the other, but it's Darvin Adams. To me, Darvin Adams is the guy that, is such a game changer in that Bomber offense with a real legitimate deep threat that really connected with Zach Collaros. The Andrew Harris situation's fascinating, Rod. I have a feeling that from an organizational standpoint, even with the time off and less wear and tear on some of these players, 34 years old with a lot of tread off the tire, if you know what I'm saying. And the fact that he wasn't able to go through training camp, they already, and credit to Kyle Walters for, when you're leaning on a Canadian in such an important position, the way they have Andrew Harris, you needed to have a succession plan. And I think we saw it in week 1 with Brady Oliveira. And, of course, Johnny Augustine's there as well. So, I don't, you'd be a person. We were talking about this the other day. Can you remember a team that went in and had exclusively Canadian running backs in the Canadian Football League?
It's been a very long time. Even with John Cornish in Calgary, they didn't have a Canadian backup. When he got hurt, they had to move somebody around somewhere else. I think BC Lions, I'm going to go back, Sean Millington, when he was their number one guy. And was Robert Drummond Canadian? Can somebody help me out with that? Remember Robert Drummond?
I don't think that he was.
Well, they're so rare, the Canadian backs, right? I'm thinking Sean Millington days with the BC Lions and whomever his backup was. And Volpe?
This is the way the Bombers are doing it right now. Yeah. And then they drafted the kid from Regina that went back to school,
Kyle Borsa,
who kind of seems to be the next man up as they go through. So it's interesting. It's given them some options to do it. But I guess my point being is that as great as Andrew Harris is and has been arguably the most impactful free agent signing ever for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, it was next man up in week 1, and Brady Oliveira balled out. And I'm not sure that the running game, when you've got an offensive line like that, Rod, there's a lot of guys that'll be able to move the chains, and certainly they dominated in the fourth quarter. 4 straight runs for 10 yards, moving the chains. That is how you finish off a team the way they did. I think the Bomber offense will look considerably different, or a little bit more deadly when Darvin Adams gets in there. But I think Brady Oliveira is going to be able to do quite a bit of what Andrew Harris normally does for the Bombers if Andrew Harris is out for an extended period of time.
When you think about it, it's the term complementary football. They managed to beat Hamilton, who was favored going into that game last week, and Hamilton did not play well. So I'm interested to see what happens tonight. It didn't hurt that Willie Jefferson came up with a pick. Willie's doing Willie things. They're still the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They're a good team. Have they been overlooked a little bit in this country, do you think?
Well, hey, they won it. The party didn't stop here for a number of months. But going into this season, I think a lot of people went back to, the Hamilton Tiger Cats are the best team in the league, and then you've got a bunch of other squads. I think we sometimes spend too much time, and this is the fantasy world that we live in, and hey, I'm a huge part of that, so I'll take some of the blame, but focusing on all the skill positions. When the Winnipeg Blue Bombers won that Grey Cup in 2019, on the back of dominance on the line of scrimmage. They ran the ball. Rod, they were the 9th passing team in the CFL in 2019.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not the way you write up a Grey Cup champion. But they got it done. So I think people maybe overlooked a little bit their true strengths and how important those are. But again, the quarterback situation is very different this year. Zach Collaros looked great, and he's going to be protected by an elite offensive line. But, man, if something happens to Zach Collaros, it's not like before where you had Nichols and you had Strevler and you had some level of confidence that both guys could come in. No offense to Sean McGuire, but I think he's thrown 3 passes in the Canadian Football League. So in Zach we trust here in Winnipeg. And
I love it because I love Zach. Sorry to cut you off, but I think every team's like that. Most teams are like that, right? Their number one guy goes down, look out. But Zach's carrying the mail, and I love him for it. I can't interview you and not talk about the Jets, okay? And so, listen, the Montreal series was over with a Scheifele hit. Right down here, eh? Which net was it? This one right here?
This one right there.
That killed the series, don't you think?
Yeah, in retrospect, yeah. I mean, and, you know, it's tough to say it was just that play because, to be honest, you know, injuries happen. And if you want to be a team that contends and pushes through, you have to be able to, you know, to get past. But, you know, your number one center would be like if Connor Hellebuck went down, you're really, really up against it. And, you know, with Pierre-Luc Dubois' struggles last year, I mean, they weren't able to make up for the loss of Mark Scheifele. But I will say this, I think they learned a number of things about their team that needed to be fixed. And I got to tell you, I mean, you tell me, has there been a general manager that did more to fix what his team needs than Kevin Cheveldayoff?
Absolutely not.
I mean, we jokingly put up the off-season champions banners on Winnipeg Sports Talk a couple weeks ago after the trades. And then you think about this week getting Neil Pionk done at 4 years. And Andrew Klopp signing the 1-year deal yesterday. I mean, it really did seem like the writing on the wall that was what was going to happen. But I honestly think that's the best case scenario for both the team and the player, in that he's coming back to a team that he knows has a much better chance to win. And while the money wasn't there for him to get what he thought he deserved on a long-term deal, he's going to be paid fairly this year. He'll be on a good team, hopefully with the opportunity to show what he can do, especially with a nice run in the playoffs, and then cash in as an unrestricted free agent in the prime of his career. So Kopp's been betting on himself the entire time. He'll do it again this year. And the fact that they were able to bring back pretty much the entire core of that team, minus Mason Appleton that went to the Kraken, add Brendan Dillon, add Nate Schmidt. I can't remember this amount of excitement around the actual team on the ice since the team came back, to be honest. I think 2011 was, hey, the team is back, we've got a team, and it was just, you know, magical. Right now, with the additions on the blue line and the talent that the team already had up front, and with one of the best goalies on the planet, Jet fans are fired up for the upcoming season. And the approval ratings of Kevin Cheveldayoff, I think, have never been higher.
Well, I'm glad that they got over being swept by Montreal fairly fast. And by the way, I go back to the Scheifele thing. I do think one play can change a series. Ask Marc-Andre Fleury in Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights, if one play can change a series. But we're not going to talk about that today. Hustler, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for coming down here, my man. Appreciate it.
Rod, you at the game tonight?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? That's why I came here.
We will see you there. Thanks so much for having me, as always.
Thanks, Huss. We are live from the World Junior Lacrosse Championships here at Canada Life Centre in Winnipeg. Game day, Friday Night Football, Argos and Bombers coming up tonight. We got one of the coaches joining us here in the Bud Lounge next. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds. Full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. we are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Back now to the Rod Pedersen Show, live in Winnipeg, the Slurpee Capital.
It is a Flame Tech Football Friday. We're coming at you live from Canada Life Center in Winnipeg, formerly Bell MTS Place. It is the home of the Winnipeg Jets, but this weekend it's the home of the World Junior Lacrosse Championship. Give them a follow on Twitter, 2021 WJLC. One of the coaches is Jeff Dowling, and he joins us here in the lounge at Canada Life Center, and I appreciate that, Jeff. This is feels good being around here this weekend. You having fun?
Yeah, it's great. It's good to be back on the bench coaching and having the players play. It's, you know, with that year and a half of COVID not really doing anything, it's good for the mental health too.
Yeah, no, people are in their happy place, yes. Particularly in sports. Now, Jeff, I'm hoping that you can tell our viewers exactly, well, I'm going to tell them you're a Hamilton guy, you coached the Calgary Roughnecks for a time in the NLL, but can you explain this particular weekend, the World Junior Championship, and how it's not exactly as normal?
Yeah. So I guess, first of all, the tournament started in 2015 in Six Nations, and it was a number of countries were there. But it wasn't one country or one team per country. So there was a Canada East, Canada West, Canada Atlantic at that time. And it was just about getting kids an opportunity to play kind of international lacrosse. And it's emerged, morphed into this, one team per country. We started in 2018 Saskatchewan with 3 teams. And then in Mississauga in 2019, we had 6 teams. And the expectation for this year was going to be 9 teams. But obviously with COVID still lingering around, it really kept a lot of the teams from being able to commit to it. So when Chris and I talked about what we were going to do, we said, let's still continue with the East versus West Canada. We've got precedent set. The first tournament, Canada West, actually, I was coaching the Canada East team back then. They beat us in the final 6-5 with Christian Del Bianco, who's one of the best goalies in the NL now, was on that West team, and Jeff Teat, who was a first overall pick of the NL, was on the Canada East team. So some really good lacrosse players. But we're hoping that next year it should be. Hopefully, we're back to normal with COVID pretty well gone. I assume we're still wearing masks at that time, but we should have hopefully get back to the complement of teams that are supposed to be here.
I'm sure you never thought you'd be having to split this into an inter-squad basically a year and a half into this COVID thing. But by the way, Jeff is also the coach of the Irish national lacrosse team, which I think is very cool too. Talk about last night's game, if you don't mind. Team East beating Team West 15-9. Why do I keep hearing the name Tanner Buck? Like, people are blowing up about Tanner Buck.
Well, he's a good player. So he Tanner's product of Orangeville Lacrosse, which is one of the hotbeds in Ontario. Great coaching. All their coaches are guys who played through their organization. A lot of NL guys, and they give back to the community. And so their program's always been one of the best in Canada. And Tanner's just a phenomenal player, a great leader. He's our captain, does all the little things as well as being able to score goals. I think the Georgia Swarm drafted him last year, 4th round. I think they're going to be pretty happy that they got him when they get him to camp this year.
Yeah, no kidding. And by the way, TSN 2 was carrying the game last night too, right? People, if you check your program grid tonight, you're going to see tonight's game on TSN 2 and throughout the weekend. That's kind of a nice feather in the cap for you guys.
Yeah, I know Chris put a lot of work in that, working with TSN for a few months to kind of iron that out. But it's a great product. I think, I'm getting a ton of texts last night and this morning about people watched it and just thought the broadcast was great, the play was good. Happy to. For people that haven't been able to see lacrosse with the NL being out as well, it's great for people to see that product on the floor.
Well, I wish that we could get a camera down here and just show the morning shoot around what's going on with the guys here right now. Who are these players, by the way? Where do they normally play club team-wise?
So they're mostly playing Junior A lacrosse. So the West is out there right now. So they're playing Junior A in the Rocky Mountain League or out in BC in the BC Junior A League. On my team, most of my guys are playing Junior A in the OJLL, which is our Junior A League. There's a few guys that are Junior B guys that will probably make that jump to Junior A next year. So, they're all playing summer lacrosse.
Well, Jeff, those hotbeds, you mentioned them, are Lower Mainland, Southern Ontario. How much is it growing across the country, this sport of lacrosse?
Well, I think the Alberta has really done a great job. I think, I'll go back to, I know I was with the Roughnecks, but with Calgary putting that team back in 2002, that really exploded the lacrosse in Alberta. And I think the level of play from the Alberta players is comparable to Ontario and BC now. They've really come a long way. And it helps that there's coaches like Andrew McBride, who played for me with Calgary, has moved from BC to Calgary. He lives there now. He coaches a junior team. He coaches the NLL now. So it's good to get those guys who have come into Calgary that stayed. And same with Edmonton when the Rush were there. A lot of those guys that were, learned the game, are learning the game from pro guys.
What is your best pitch for viewers right now whose their kids are looking for something to do? Because I look at this sport, I didn't grow up with it.
Yeah.
Okay, I grew up with hockey and football and baseball. But I look at this and go, I'd have loved it as a kid because of the aggression and you know what I mean? What's your pitch for young people to get involved?
It's a fun sport. Sometimes parents get worried about the physical part of it, but it's safer in my mind. It's safer than hockey because the speed is not as great. You're not getting all that speed on the ice, and it's controlled. The sticks are there is cross checking, but it's shoulder and below, and it's just a great game to play. And I think honestly it helps if you look at some of the great hockey players. A lot of them will attribute to lacrosse to making them a better hockey player, like Shanahan, Tavares, Gretzky says that it really helped him. So.
Yeah. Well, you're a hockey fan?
Yeah.
Well, I just remember my buddy Paul Biznasty. You saw him jaw-jacking the Vancouver Stealth, and they said, "Come on out." Yeah. If you think it's that easy, and he almost died. So, for whatever reason, they think that it's easy. It's not easy. But they tell me that we're out of time. Jeff, I'll virtually shake your hand through the glass here. Good seeing you. Thanks for having us out. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks.
All right, Jeff Dowling, the head coach, one of the coaches here at the World Junior Lacrosse Championship. We're going to take a timeout. Moose will be back with us. Dave Petrishen, the sports doctor, coming up as well. We are live from Winnipeg. It's a Flame Tech Football Friday, and you're watching on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
On the road, kicking ass and enjoying a Slurpee. It's Rod Pedersen live in Winnipeg.
Welcome back, everybody. Flame Tech Football Friday continues. We're gonna get real in a moment. The Moose is back. How you doing, Moose?
I'm great.
A quick sports update. The defending champion is out at the National Bank Open in Montreal. Canada's Bianca Andreescu was eliminated by Ons Jabeur of Tunisia in a marathon third-round match. And if you saw her post-interview, she wasn't happy about it.
No.
Shohei Ohtani pitched 6 innings of 3-hit ball to win his third consecutive start. He also doubled and scored an early run in the Angels' 6-3 victory over the visiting Blue Jays last night. The Jays at Seattle tonight. Tim Anderson hit a 2-run homer in the 9th inning into the cornfield to end the Field of Dreams game in cinematic fashion last night in the majors. The Chicago White Sox outslugged the Yankees 9-8 in the first Major League Baseball game in Iowa. The Winnipeg Jets have agreed to terms with forward Andrew Kopp on a 1-year deal. The deal is worth $3.6 million U.S. for Kopp, who had 15 goals and 39 points in 55 games for the Jets last season. This sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store. For Ballers Rec Room, their 4-hour tailgate party begins at 4 p.m. Saturday in advance of the Rough Riders and the Tiger Cats. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Somebody's mildly threatening me on Twitter when I said that the BC Lions are ruining sports betting by what they're doing by snowing people with who their starting quarterback is. And if I had put money down on the BC Lions or Stampeders based on Nathan Rourke starting, because that's what we've been led to believe all week, and that's what was on their depth chart, I'd be very upset. But I don't put money down on bets. Very rarely do I. So I don't really care. But you understand why people would be very upset about that. We covered that off the top. You wanted to not defend yourself, but maybe explain yourself, where you said yesterday the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have the best brand currently in the Canadian Football League, because that drew the ire of a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that they do. And that was, again, it's very broad. This isn't me doing a deep dive on it. The question came into the show, because I'm a branding and marketing guy, who do I think has the best brand? There's a couple of things to remember on this, too. Branding and marketing are different, right? The amount of merchandise you sell or tickets you sell isn't necessarily a branding result. It could be a marketing result. It's all under the umbrella of a good business, right? Marketing, branding. I look at branding as your reputation. Marketing is how you is promoting that reputation, right? And your business is making money, and how successful are you? So I do think Winnipeg has the best brand in the CFL right now. I think the Riders have held that for quite a while, but it also happens that, the better you are and the more success that you have year after year, you lose a little bit of your charm. And the Riders have lost a little bit of that charm of being the lovable losers, right? They were always this Prairie Saskatchewan group that just defined Saskatchewan, and now they've had a lot of success, and you lose a little bit of that brand outside of the borders. Now they're still selling out games, which is great. They're still selling a lot of merchandise, but I believe, I'd have to go back to the annual reports, but I believe the last time these teams were on the field, Winnipeg sold more merchandise than Saskatchewan did. Mm-hmm. Sold more dollars worth of merchandise than the Riders did in 2018. So their brand is on the upswing. They're very definitive about what they are. They're very clear about, their vaccine mandate into the stadiums. They've got a clear message. There's a lot of structure there. The Riders got two things going. It's a little bit of one foot in one pool of, hey, we've got a lot of success and we're this elite franchise and we know it. And the other side is, hey, we're just, this community-owned organization. But the Riders are still a top brand in the Canadian Football League. There's no doubt about that. But I think Winnipeg's overtaken them, at least in the moment.
Well, you can't rest on your laurels. Nobody can.
No.
Right? So you always got to be striving to be better, obviously. Hey, our poll question today: who is Winnipeg's biggest sports icon? And we just had Andrew Hustler Patterson on here earlier saying we nailed the four. He goes, there are more, of course, but Ken Plain, Dale Hawerchuk, Milt Stegall, or Bobby Hull. And Dale Hawerchuk, Ducky's running away with it with 65%. We were very fortunate to be at the news conference prior to our show today announcing Dale Hawerchuk Way, a road just down outside the arena here. Dale Hawerchuk, 65%. Milt Stegall, 19%. Bobby Hull, 16%. And Ken Plain, 0%. That surprises me a little bit because you don't need to be in Winnipeg very long before you're hearing the name Ken Plain. You hear it.
Yes.
Legendary Blue Bomber, but in this poll, not so much. Metal Shingle Guy writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line, and you can always reach us there, 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer, headquartered in Winnipeg. Metal Shingle Guy says Willard Reeves.
Yeah.
How about Willard Reeves?
Very good.
The father of Jordan Reeves and Ryan Reeves. Yeah, how about that? And by the way, Metal Shingle Guy, I don't know about this. Metal Shingle Guy writes, how about Bo Levi? 4 picks. Wow. I don't revel or gloat in Bo Levi Mitchell throwing 4 interceptions at all. Frankly, like I said, I like the guy. I don't hate the guy. It was a tough outing for him. How long before we're off, guys? 15? Okay. Next hour, the sports doctor, Dave Petrishen. You going to stick around?
Oh, yeah.
Second half kickoff? Okay. Thanks to Hustler for joining us here in hour 1. We'll be back from Canada Life Center right after this on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Friday night football tonight. Toronto at Winnipeg. We'll be there.
How about that?
Winnipeg favored by 6. The over-under is 47.5.
Well, that's an easy one. I'll take Toronto to beat the spread and win straight up. I got the Argos to win at Winnipeg. Don't at me.
Spicy.
I got Winnipeg to win straight up, but Argos will cover the spread.
Look at us with the betting lingo.
From the Slurpee Capital, live from Winnipeg, it's the Rod Pedersen Show.
We are live. We're coming at you from the Canada Life Center. It's the home of the Winnipeg Jets. Today, it's the home of the Rod Pedersen Show. And this weekend, it's the home of the World Junior Lacrosse Championships. So come on in. Thanks for joining us for coffee today here from the Manitoba capital. Moose DuPont is with me. The spectacular guests continue. Last hour, we had Andrew Hustler Patterson, the star of Winnipeg Sports Talk, with us. And Jeff Dowling, one of the coaches of Canada here at the World Junior Lacrosse Championships. And this tournament's been going since 2015. COVID, as you can imagine, has screwed things up. So they've kind of split it into an intra-squad event, which is being televised on TSN2 all weekend long. And they were nice enough to invite us to come out and do the show live from Canada Life Center. So I cannot thank Chris Fox enough for that. But there happens to be football tonight. You heard off the intro, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are home to the Toronto Argonauts. It's a 7:30 kickoff at IG Field. We're going to be there for that. Thank you to the Blue Bombers for setting us up. And then to the Winnipeg Jets. I can't give them a more hearty thank you other than Moose and I were walking outside the arena today trying to get in here to the Canada Life Center.
By the way, this is different for me because it's not my town. You know how I usually just roll?
Oh, yeah.
Just know where the nooks and crannies are?
Yeah.
Not so much. Maybe one day in Winnipeg, but they actually have security here.
Yeah, this isn't like back home where you can just walk in.
It's a big
I thought you could just wear a suit, a nice jacket, and they'd let you in.
No, they want to see if you're vaccinated and all the rest. Which, hey, we checked all the boxes, and here we are. But anyways, the Jets. My good friend Christina Litz used to work for the CFL. She literally came and grabbed us, and she said, "We're making an announcement here. You guys are going to be part of this. Get inside the ropes." And it was just across the street from Canada Life Center. You're going to see it on SportsCenter. You're going to see it on all the news tonight that they're renaming a street outside the arena Dale Howard Chuck Way. 1 year from now, they're going to have a statue depicting Dale Howard Chuck, the greatest Winnipeg Jet ever, across the street from the arena. So the Jets just pulled us in. And then Christina said, when you guys are off the air, I want to give you a tour of all our new offices and the arena and everything. So Winnipeg, we're got a lot of love for Winnipeg here today. Not a lot of love for us, though, Moose, as well, there's some hate. Let's put it that way. I've said, because it is a Flame Tech Football Friday, that's what we're doing here. Flame Tech, locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. It was a very CFL sim-like football game at McMahon Stadium last night where the BC Lions upset the Calgary Stampeders 15-9. Could we call it an upset?
Of course.
Yeah.
They were
Going
6.5 point favorites.
Yeah, based on their rookie quarterback starting, which he didn't. And that's the point. I'm saying the BC Lions are ruining sports betting before we even get out of the gate here with the skullduggery and secrecy and shadiness of their starting quarterback. So Bob Medill writes me on Twitter, and he says, pretty inflammatory and highly inaccurate to suggest that the BC Lions are ruining sports betting. You're going down the wrong road. Ooh. By the way, his Twitter handle, @LionFan15.
How about that?
Listen, if I'd put a lot of money on that, based on what we were led to believe by the BC Lions, I'd be very upset today. Is it inaccurate? Too much for me to say that?
You're right. I mean, you might as well light your money on fire or put it on the roulette table because you're trying to, base this off of the information that you have at the time. And then you get to the game and it's like all the information I have doesn't matter anyway because it all changed. Now, I don't know if Rick Campbell's doing anything shady or crazy. I don't necessarily think that's the case. He wants to have his best quarterback starting because he wants to win football games because that's how he's going to keep his job. So he's doing what he has to do to win football games. Now, if, coming out, they want to name Nathan Rourke the starter, and maybe they're mandated to name that starter on Monday, and, hey, the best I can do is give you Nathan Rourke because we don't know if Mike Riley's going to play, then fine. But it just makes it impossible to bet on the games. It really does. It makes it really, really hard. Hey, look, Rick Campbell's not worried about us betting on the games. He's worried about winning the games. And Mike Riley playing and, coming out and playing the way he did was pretty good, and they won the game. So he's sleeping pretty good at night with his quarterbacking decisions. But as somebody who likes to bet on sports and take part in it, I can't bet on the BC Lions games. I just can't. So that's just the way it is. I'll put my money on other games and watch them. But Rick Campbell's going to be pretty happy with the way he's handling this because he's winning football games.
I don't think I misspoke in saying the BC Lions are ruining this before they get out of the gate, but I'm not the biggest bettor. People that watch this show know that about me. But Hustler said, who was with us last hour from Winnipeg Sports Talk, Andrew Hustler Patterson, he said that they would be on the suspended list, the BC Lions, after what they pulled here the last 2 weeks. So anyways, there's that. Hey, by the way, we got a souvenir here. Thank you, Darren, for this, by the way.
Well, I was like a kid, when the puck goes over the glass and you run to get it. The lacrosse ball bounced up and over, and so I was right on top of it.
You've obviously held a lacrosse ball before. And by the way, we're at the World Junior Lacrosse Championship. If you just tuned in live here, they're going on throughout the weekend, this championship you can watch on TSN2. I don't think I've ever held a lacrosse ball before. These things are hard.
Oh, yeah. They have enough bounce, but they go so fast. And if you get hit with one of those, oh, man, it won't feel good.
Couple things before we go any further. From the 780, John in Edmonton writing on the Prairie Mobile text line at 306-840-8777. He says, tonight's World Junior Lacrosse games are on TSN Direct. Same with tomorrow. TSN2 and every other TSN channel is broadcasting the CFL. Well, like I said, check your program grid. I know last night they were on TSN2. DG in Saskatoon writes in, "Morning, guys. I was able to catch the first half of the Eagles-Steelers preseason games on replay. The Eagles announcers were raving about Alex Singleton and his great tackling following a big hit on a Steeler. First player to high-five Singleton after the hit, Chase Claypool of the Steelers. Some Canadian love going on." That from DG in Saskatoon. Brady in the Bridge City says, "Hey, Rod, bit of a surprise last night that the Stamps didn't challenge that pass interference late in the game. The Riders will need to play a solid 60 minutes to win. I got the Argos, Riders, and Elks. Dale Howarchuk is Winnipeg's biggest sports icon. I'm excited for Seahawks football to return tomorrow. Go Hawks." By the way, our NFL teams are playing tonight, but not each other, Moose.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be watching that a little bit.
Well, that's a whole other thing. I got to make a note of this. Sports on tap tonight for the Tap Brewhouse and drive-through liquor store. It is his Tennessee Titans at the Atlanta Falcons in NFL preseason play. Bills at Lions and the Dallas Cowboys at the Arizona Cardinals tonight.
How many reps do you think old Dak's going to get?
None. No, none. I don't think. I haven't really been following him that closely. I've been too busy upsetting CFL fans over betting. I haven't been following the progress of Dakota Prescott, but I would be shocked if he's playing tonight. He shouldn't be. But can we tell the people that you have booked Super Bowl tickets?
Yeah. They're booked.
How about that?
They're booked. So we're going to be heading to Super Bowl in February.
Spicy.
That's all I can say right now because the plane tickets have been booked. So as long as the plane tickets are booked, we know we're going. So that's going to be fun in February. Maybe it'll be Titans and Cowboys. I don't know what the odds makers have for that being the Super Bowl matchup, but maybe we put a couple of coins on.
Can you imagine?
Oh, boy. At that point, I would make sure we bought tickets. It doesn't matter what they cost. If the Titans are in it and the Cowboys, that'd be outstanding.
Oh, dang it.
The undo button at the bottom.
Oh, undo. I'm still figuring out this phone from Prairie Mobile. It was Jason in Red Deer. You want to write me back, Jason in Red Deer, please, on the Prairie Mobile text line?
I'll find it.
It was something along the lines of, he said, curious if NFL teams need to name their starters prior to game time. And did you find it?
Yeah, there's a section here you can click called Archived. Is this the message?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Nice work, Moose.
Tech support.
Curious if CFL teams are required to submit starters, and if so, is there a penalty for starting other players? I guess that's a pretty good question. I mean, it is a big topic. How much has been made of this single sports betting bill that's been passed, and it's going to come into law at the end of August, right? This is a big deal. For a lot of people, the CFL is going to make a lot of money. Have the BC Lions done anything wrong? Because based on what I know about betting and just me making my picks weekly on In the Huddle and this show and so forth, yeah, they have. By being slightly deceitful by who their starting quarterback would be, but they're not the first to do that. Have they done anything wrong the last 2 weeks?
It's a really loaded question. It's a hard question because, no, my first answer is no, the BC Lions haven't done anything wrong. And it sounds like I'm contradicting myself because they're making a mess of the betting stuff. But they're not. They're following the rules, I think. I think they're, listing the quarterback they know will play when they think, Monday they think Rourke's going to play, so they name him the starter. They say Mike Riley will be a game-time decision or that he's questionable or doubtful or whatever. I think they're following the rules. I don't think that they're not going to follow the rules, but they're not really playing along very well to try and promote betting. And let's remember, you and I spending money on betting on the football game doesn't go into the pockets of the Canadian Football League. It goes into the pockets of who you're making your bet with. But what goes into the pockets is more eyeballs, more clicks to the website, all these things we've talked about, more attention. And those teams with more attention can sell that, right, to sponsors and whatnot. So that's what they stand to gain, a lot of attention. And when you're, unsure of who's going to play and we don't know if we can bet on your team because there's no certainty on who's going to play or what the result's going to be, then you don't have the attention and you can't sell the attention. So what happens is every other market has a chance to gain the attention and you won't. So That's what you stand to lose out of all this.
Well, there's more to sports than betting, obviously, and let's just talk about the game last night. 15-9, the Calgary Stampeders lose to the BC Lions at home. Stampeders are 0-2. Obviously, we started watching it at the Keg, went back to the hotel room, and had the sound up for the rest of the game, and they talked about how the Calgary Stampeders haven't been 0-2 in over a decade. Bo Levi Mitchell, a career-high 4 interceptions. The Stamps just don't look like themselves.
No, they don't at all. And, you know, Davis Sanchez was on the panel last night and talking about it, and he's like, something's has to be wrong with Bo Levi. He thinks there's an injury. And I don't know if there is or not, but there's something not right with Bo Levi, because it's not the Bo Levi that we've known, you know, for the last number of years. And he just doesn't do this. He's never thrown 4 picks before. He took that one hit and he was holding his thumb on his throwing hand. That's a concern. But Calgary's in a hole. But for BC, it's their defense. I mean, to come up with those timely interceptions. Brady asked about the challenge. Well, Dave Dickinson made a challenge on the opening series of the football game in the first, or early in the first quarter anyways. He didn't have a timeout left at the end of that football game, so he couldn't challenge the play for pass interference. And you know, BC was able to ride their defense to win. What I like, Mike Riley played really, really well, but they didn't finish drives. And moving forward, BC's going to have to finish drives with touchdowns, not field goal or field goal attempts, if they want to, you know, have success and make the playoffs. But their defense played pretty good last night, and Mike Riley looked good for the most part too.
Mike Riley didn't look injured at all last night. So some very interesting things are unfolding in the Canadian Football League 2 weeks in.
And
yes?
might I, last point, because I commented on this when we were watching the football game, Mike Riley doesn't run pretty, but man, did he look mobile last night, getting out of, you know, danger and using his feet to keep plays alive. Mike Riley looked really, really good.
Yes, no kidding. And we anticipate, or we await, a great showing tonight at IG Field here in Winnipeg. We'll be there. Thank you to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers for opening their doors to us, and I might actually hit the Bombers store and load up on some gear tonight in advance of the game. Don't tell the Argos, which reminds me, I was thinking of extending an invite to the Toronto Argonauts, our friends, to join us here at Canada Life Centre, and then found out, Darren, that because of COVID protocols, they're not allowed to leave their hotel. They're not allowed to leave that CFL bubble. Fortunately, we got the sports doctor, Dave Petrishen, who fully vaccinated, not worried. He'll be joining us here on set in the next segment. But for this football game tonight, this is becoming Zach Collaros' town. And the Blue Bombers favored by 6 going into the football game. We know that it's going to be McLeod Bethel-Thompson versus Zach Collaros. We know that. How are you on this line tonight?
It's too much. I said it the other day. It's way too much. But let's remember, from a betting perspective, the Toronto Argonauts were last in the Canadian Football League when it came to odds to win the Grey Cup. They were last. So Winnipeg should be heavily favored if that's the case. Now, I said, you know, I bluntly came out and said, go put your money on Toronto, because that's a great buy, because Toronto's a much better team. I said that Calgary-Toronto game in week 1 was a Grey Cup preview, kind of tongue-in-cheek, but it could be. I think Toronto's a lot better than the odds makers are making them out to be. So I do think 6 is a lot, and I think Toronto will cover the spread, but I do think Winnipeg will win tonight.
Sean in Vancouver watching, writes on the Prairie Mobile text line, "Morning, guys. Sean in Vancouver. Come out west for the Riders game September 24th. We doing anything September 24th weekend?
I don't know.
I don't know. We were invited here by Winnipeg. We've got the Super Bowl plans. We know we're doing that February the 13th. So we'll see. We're kind of going where we're invited. How about that?
That's right.
Okay.
I'll go anywhere.
How about that? Yes. Moose, we'll see you back a little later on. Look, we got a special guest coming towards the set here.
All right.
Is that Chris? How you doing, man?
That sounds good.
We're just, hey, why not? Why not? Just like home.
Yeah.
We're walking right on the set. Let's do it.
Look at that.
Oh, let's go. Hold that thing up 2021 World Junior Lacrosse Championship.
All right.
Good to see you, brother. Man, thank you. Look at this. That is hot.
How about that?
Thank you, man. Thank you for having us. Thank you so much for having us.
These are awesome.
Am I putting this thing on? I feel like I've just been drafted.
I know, right? And if you look, you know, we're a hockey country, but that's a little lacrosse guy. That's
I've seen that logo. That's a Lacrosse Canada logo, right?
That's awesome.
Woohoo! How about that?
Awesome.
I love it, man.
Looks
We'll
really
put
good.
these things on the set here. Chris Fox, that's the dude. What a fantastic show that we've had here today. Sports Doctor on set next. It is a Flame Tech Football Friday live from the World Junior Lacrosse Championship at Canada Life Center in Winnipeg. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Back now to the Rod Pedersen Show, live in Winnipeg.
We're coming to you from Canada Life Center. That's the new name of the home of the Winnipeg Jets, all set up here at the World Junior Lacrosse Championship. It's hour 2 of the program. It's brought to you by Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. Flame Tech Football Friday, Friday Night Football, and I think it's the first time in my life that I'm going to a regular season game in the Canadian Football League that does not include
the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Tonight it's the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Toronto Argonauts. And my good man, the sports doctor, Dave Petrishen, joins us at Canada Life Centre. Hey, don't mind the jerseys here. Should we leave these up? I'm not sure. They look good. This is from Lacrosse Canada. How you doing, Doc?
I'm great. Thank you for inviting me, and welcome to our city.
Thank you. You guys have been so hospitable to us. Very Winnipegish of you to be so kind.
You're big in this town. Our mayor uses that term now. Remember I sent you that clip, right?
Yes, that's right. Very Winnipegish. Very nice. By the way, I got gear for you in the car. I'm going to have to hook up with you later. I didn't bring it down.
Well, I wear a little charity today.
Yes.
I'm the vice president of the Winnipeg chapter of Dreams Take Flight, and I wanted to make everybody know. I mean, this trying times and difficult times, we've always done well. We've been blessed with employment and things like that, and there's a lot of charities. If you are blessed with employment, a lot of charities that need support. So I thought I'd put my charity badge on.
Yeah, you're big on that.
I am.
Lapo too, right?
Yeah, we had Paul Lapalisse 2 years go with us. Dreams Take Flight is the organization that piles a bunch of kids in a plane, and we go down to Disney for one magical day. These are children that would never get an opportunity to go to Disney World in Florida. And so we fundraise all year. And usually in April, we fill the plane and we go down. We basically get to the airport 3 in the morning and come back at 1 in the morning. So we have a lot of fun. And yeah, I've got Paul Lapalisse involved, and he's been with us a couple of years. And hopefully he'll get involved with the Ottawa chapter.
All right, outstanding. So, Dave, as I've been talking about, and I think you've heard a little bit about it, the Blue Bombers favored by 6.5 tonight over the Toronto Argonauts at IG Field. I've got Toronto to win. They're a healthier bunch. But that's just me. How do you feel about the line, and how do you feel about the game?
I think the line is probably right. We came out of the first quarter. Bombers came out of the first quarter. I shouldn't say we, because I had nothing to do with the game other than getting there early to drink a $5 beer. But the Bombers came out a little slow, and then they just basically manhandled, and the defense held. And Willie Jefferson, I understand, is going to be in the game. I'm sure we're still missing Andrew Harris and Darvin Adams, but with what we saw with the connection between Zach Collaros and Kenny Lawler, and we saw Nick Dembski play, and of course Brady Oliveira, those guys will just do it. I think that the defense will hold and the offense will score. And as we saw last night, the Calgary Stampeders aren't a very good football team right now. So the Toronto win probably was a bit of a mirage, because it wasn't like some miraculous thing. It was the defending champions or something.
Well, there's 9 teams in this league, and I will guarantee you that we'll be overreacting on some of them in the first 2, 3, 4 weeks.
Exactly.
And I'm not sure if the Calgary Stampeders are one of those teams that we're overreacting on, but I will say they don't look that good. Bo Levi Mitchell's never thrown 4 interceptions in a football game, and he did. And that's the thing. Were you not thinking last night watching that game at all? Here's Calgary, 25 seconds left. Bo's going to march him down the field, and they're going to win the game.
100%. Most times I probably would have turned the game off out of boredom, and the outcome should have been determined. But, we were talking just before I got on the air with some of the guests just off stage, and this is the league that had no preseason games. And these are guys that basically were shut down for almost 2 full years. And it's going to take a little while to get back in the rhythm. We're not seeing a lot of sloppy football, but we're not seeing a lot of highlight football. Some of these games aren't going to be on SportsCenter for a long time.
Classic, ESPN Classics, you mean?
Well, I mean, when you're watching Montreal, Ottawa from 78 or something like that, that gets on CFL Classics. They're using that term very loosely.
Yeah, well, I don't know if there was a touchdown in the game last night. Well, Mike Riley rushed for one. Mm-hmm. Calgary did not score a touchdown. And then last week in the Edmonton-Ottawa game, there were no offensive touchdowns scored in that game. What did that end up? 15-6, I think. So the football's been a little slow there. Your game here last week was 19-6, right? What did you think when Hamilton raced out, scored a touchdown on that opening series? Did you think you were in trouble?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we stalled on our opening drive, and then we didn't put points on the board till 10 minutes in. But, once you saw that connection that Zach Collaros had. And I'm like you. I mean, every time we watch Zach Collaros take a snap, you kind of hoping he doesn't get injured.
I'm kind of over that. But
yeah. You were always a big supporter, and you thought he was wrongly done by when Saskatchewan basically dumped him off to Toronto. And he sure proved his worth when he got to Winnipeg last season.
Mm-hmm. Football Friday, by the way, brought to you by Flame Tech, locally owned.
Am I Frenzy's replacement?
Football Friday, that's right. Locally owned and operated, industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. Mike Abu-Meshrik, I believe, will be John Frenzy's replacement. But if you thought that you were Frenzy's replacement, you'd be okay with that, right? You're not the biggest John Lynch fan as a Winnipegger. Be honest.
I did meet him one time. He's a nice gentleman, and we liked the kid. I mean, he was calling the Saskatchewan Roughrider game since 1910 on Telegraph and Morse code.
How about that?
And, gave way a little bit later.
Spicy!
He probably, but, you're a big supporter of his, and he does have such longevity in the business, and you have to admire that. And I thought to myself, you pick him up once a week. Why would the guy step down? This is a great gig. Right. You buy him lunch. You get him out of the
all
house.
All of it. Yes, all of it. Absolutely.
He gets a ride in Big Bird. When does he ever get to do that?
By the way, on this Flame Tech Football Friday, Dave is not just a Winnipeg Blue Bombers season ticket holder, but also for the Minnesota Vikings. And because it is a Football Friday, we should talk about that. The Vikings have not yet played a preseason game.
Nope.
They've had COVID outbreaks. Mm-hmm. How much are you following with what's going on with the school?
From a distance right now. They have their first preseason game against Denver tomorrow, 3 o'clock Central Time. I got to tell you one thing about the Minnesota Vikings organization. Of course, I'm a season ticket holder. There's always 2 preseason games. And, there's always a chance that I'm going to have to eat those tickets because it's really not great just to drive down to watch a preseason game. Like NFL preseason football is dreadful. Like it's just really dreadful. There's guys with 2 numbers sharing the numbers on the side. There's 99 guys on the sideline. But I got an email several weeks ago from the Vikings organization saying that we understand that there's still border restrictions and COVID and things like that. Check here on the box if you want to forfeit your tickets and have them credited to your account. And I did that. And I thought to myself, I was just going to eat them. Because there, once in a while, when, years ago when Oakland had to come to town or teams that didn't have great big followings in Minnesota, I had to eat those tickets sometimes. But I made it up for the Green Bay game, the Chicago game, when Dallas would come to town. This year there's a Pittsburgh game and Dallas this year, so it's going to be a very lucrative year to try to resell my tickets. Now, I don't buy them to resell them, but just a simple fact of the matter is it's hard to make 8 trips to Minneapolis between September and January, and the season gets pushed later. Back to your original question, I think the Minnesota Vikings made some impressive moves in the offseason, but it all comes down to what they can do when the quarterback gets the ball. And we're talking about Kirk Cousins, and I've never been much of a fan. I mean, yes, he's led the playoffs, and we've had some success. The Minnesota Vikings have had some success, but I just think there's something out of sync with the guy, and I'm not going to speak about his beliefs or vaccination beliefs and things like that, but I just don't know if that's the right fit for the Minnesota Vikings. Ben Roethlisberger, look at that guy. He is a Pittsburgh Steeler. You think Troy Aikman, Dallas Cowboys, and even Joe Montana ventured off a little bit to Kansas City. He's San Francisco. Is Kirk Cousins? Will there be a statue outside U.S. Bank Stadium with Kirk Cousins on it?
You've been through enough of them, Dave, trying to find who the next Fran Tarkenton is. But I'll tell you what, that NFC North, there's a lot of drama in there. Look what's going on in Green Bay. You're probably loving that with Aaron Rodgers and whether he's going to play or not, and he's not going to play in the preseason, as you know. Who else is in that division? The Detroit Lions have a new quarterback in Jared Goff, right? And they've moved on from Matthew Stafford. So big things expected out of Detroit. Chicago is Chicago.
Yep.
We don't know what we're going to get. They're a box of chocolates.
I'd hate to be a Chicago Bears fan because that is more of a roller coaster than any other team.
Right. So Minnesota maybe just slides in under the radar.
Yeah, one would hope. Yeah, we'll see. Green Bay is always the perennial favorite in that division, and that's because of Aaron Rodgers. And then that's exactly my point about Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, to me, is not Aaron Rodgers. And with the team, I don't see him as that leader. Aaron Rodgers a few years ago was a real leader. Now, who can say, he gets his nose out of joint. You see these guys do that. You saw the Packers do that with Brett Favre, right? So, it's kind of the way the Packers operate. So,
yeah, no kidding. Hey, I just want to swing this back to the game tonight at Investors Group Field, or IG Field. They've slimmed down the name of it to the Blue Bombers and the Argos. What was it like? And I appreciate you sending me the photos from the game last week, by the way. What was it like to be in the venue?
To
be in the stadium.
Oh, it was electric. It was absolutely electric. I mean, I'm a kind of guy that I wanted to see that the championship banner being raised. So I'm a person that usually parks my car at a park and ride. I go to a local saloon, have a couple of chicken wings and a couple of adult pops, and then we get to the game. But I elected to take a ride share there, and I had 4 other people with me because I wanted to get there on time. And We got to the venue. I probably didn't spend more than 10 minutes in line. It was seamless. Had my ID, had my ticket, had my vaccination card, got in, and it was mayhem in there because they did have some food specials. They did have some beer specials, and they're doing the same tonight. $3 hot dogs, $5 beer before 7 o'clock. It's actually tremendous, and I never saw more happiness in my life at a Blue Bomber game. And I've been going since 1983 full time. People were happy to see each other. I know that you and I, we've kept in touch, phone, text, Facebook messages, and there's a lot of my circle of friends we've done that, the ones. But then all of a sudden that circle expanded so much when I saw people I hadn't seen since the last Blue Bomber game, and it wasn't my choice. It was other factors out there, like called COVID and the pandemic. But it was so great to be in there. The atmosphere was electric. It was well lubricated because of the $5 beer.
It was a hot night-ish.
It was a hot night, and we're playing it. Everybody was charged up emotionally because it was the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And even before the 2019 Grey Cup, we had that rivalry dating back to '84 when we made that trade for Tom Clements and Dieter Brock, right? So it's always been, our Hamilton Tiger Cats are the Saskatchewan Roughriders of the East to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, and by the way, the sports doc here talks about us communicating. We've had a long-running joke that every time the Bombers win, he'll text me, or I'll text you, whoever gets to it first, was plan the parade. And the last time the CFL played, you actually had one because you won the championship, Dave.
Long time coming.
Yeah. Did you go down? You had to have gone down to the parade.
Absolutely. I wanted to be part of that. I didn't get to greet the team at the airport because I was still in Calgary, but I did manage to get to a couple of the functions after and have my picture taken with the Grey Cup. It's just such a joyous moment because I am a season ticket holder. And I know that to a lot of people, there's a lot more important things in life than sports, but nothing unites a community like sports. And whether it be the National Hockey League, whether it be the Canadian Football League, whether it be the American Association of Independent Baseball, like our Winnipeg Gold Eyes play in. It's a united community. And I went to some Gold Eyes games last week, and it was the same thing. People I hadn't seen in a long time, and from the guy selling popcorn to the lady at the souvenir, at the concessions, at the merchandise shop. That's what I'm trying to say. It was great. It was like seeing friends again.
Well, the poll question today, by the way, something jarred in my mind here. For Capital Automall Universal Collision Center, it is, who's Winnipeg's biggest sports icon? And I'll just tell you that Hustler said we got the top four, okay? He said we got the top four. Ken Plain, Dale Howardchuck, Milt Stiegel, Bobby Hall. Howardchuck running away with it, 64%. But should we have put Chris Streveler in there?
Chris Streveler would be 5, but he would fade. But they made the announcement today, True North made an announcement today. They've applied to the city to have a stretch of street be Dale Howardchuck Way.
Yes.
Just outside. And, of course, the big statue will go up next year in True North Place. So, yeah, Dale Howardchuck, absolutely. And it's, a lot of times when a guy gets traded away like Dieter Brock, there's that he didn't want to be here thing, or, he didn't want to be here. We see that now with guys like Jacob Trouba when Dustin Byfuglien stepped away from the game. But Dale Howardchuck has always had a place in our hearts. And, he married a lady from Manitoba.
Right.
And he came back here. And, I was at the ceremony when they raised his number up to the rafters. And it was just such a joyous and I guess I'm trying to get emotional again. It was so much fun. And then you saw guys come back, and the one thing about Mark Chipman and his staff and the great organization, they brought everybody back together. United two teams, and everybody saw he doesn't want anything to do with the old Jets. Yes, he does. He loves that legacy. They announced a new license plate honoring the legacy today.
It was a big day for us to be milling about outside this arena. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, you didn't hear us say earlier, but the Jets literally grabbed us, pulled us in, and said, sit down, you're going to be part of this, which was awesome. Winnipegish. Very nice.
Yeah. In a great way.
Yeah, that's
Lynch never used it in a great way.
He never used it right. They were very hospitable and kind. Oh, I can't get out of here without you telling the story of us going to the Moose game in this very building, you and me. Doing the loser laps on the concourse here in between periods.
Absolutely. And that's before the days of the RP show. This was when you were still on radio.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that knew you from, the CFL hits that you did on television and things like that. But, well known in this town, and people come up and friends, and people always say hi, but it was out of control. It was here, like people coming up to you, and they couldn't believe that you weren't wearing a Saskatchewan Roughriders jacket or that, you know. And you know,
they weren't very nice, Dave. That's my point.
I thought they were nice. They could have been a lot worse. I mean, this is. You know, I've gone to pro wrestling matches in this town. I've been a bad guy wrestler and stuff. It could have been a lot worse.
It's a tough guy town. It's a tough guy town. So we'll see what happens tonight at IG Field. But they were catcalling me on the concourse, and thank God Dave's a big guy. You had my back, which you always do.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. It's not as hard a job as it used to be.
And are you up? Are you with the Unwashed today at IG Field? Or are you going to be up in a suite? Or
Oh, we got tickets. I'll show you from the Bombers. So I'll show you where they are. So anyways, Doc,
because it might be worse tonight. So I think you would still wear this shirt tonight.
Yeah, wear blue.
It is the right color.
Wear blue. Yeah. All right, David. Thanks again, buddy. Good seeing you. The Sports Doc. We'll be back. The Moose will join us here. We'll talk about the other CFL games this weekend and more. It is a Flame Tech Football Friday. You're watching on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, you know, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Back now to the Rod Pedersen Show, live in Winnipeg, the Slurpee Capital.
I think we should get a Slurpee.
We might have to.
We're here. When in Rome. Are we going to go down that road again?
All right.
It'll be Dr. Pepper if we're getting anything.
Cream soda.
I want to say a big thank you to our crew, chief among them, Darren, for lining this up with Chris Fox from the World Junior Lacrosse Championship. That's why we're here. We've got two of our crew on location, Ryan and Rolf. Tie Me Kangaroo Down Sport.
Yes.
Rolf. And I'll tell you, I like that guy.
Let me tell you.
He's a take charge kind of guy.
Right. And this has been great. And IKS has sponsored all of the gear for our setup and everything else. So they've always treated us really, really well. But how about this? Rolf, who's been on our crew for how long?
A week?
A week. Driving up here on his own.
Like a boss.
Ryan's flying in at midnight. I'm like really worried about these guys. So I give Rolf my number. I'm like, you need anything. I'll be here all night. Whatever you need, I'll come to the...
You don't hear from him?
I didn't hear from them until we walked in here 15 minutes before the show. They just had it all taken care of. So that was really good. That's what we want.
And then, of course, producer Clark and director Jordan back in Regina flying the Millennium Falcons. I just wanted to point out, thank you guys, allowing... yeah, there you go. Allowing a guy like me to just show up and talk. So I really appreciate it. Okay, well, there's a few. I don't have my breaking news bell. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. No, you don't need to do that.
Okay, you know what I'm doing.
Breaking news.
That I'm looking for a sound
Breaking news today. The Florida Panthers have signed Jumbo Joe Thornton to, I believe, a 1-year deal. I just got the notification on my phone, and I'm only asking you your thoughts because, well, you're a Leafs fan. What's your favorite moment of the Joe Thornton Leafs era?
I know. This is extremely disappointing for me. I'm going to put on my Leafs fan hat, and I don't like it. I think it was a mistake. I think it's a problem in sports, and a little bit of a societal problem is a complete lack of patience and a lack of seeing things through. I think, you try this, they call it an experiment of, bringing in some older guys, and you re-sign Jason Spezza to a nice deal and everything else. But, the Joe Thornton thing, he comes in quickly and it doesn't work, and they get bounced from the playoffs in the first round. So they're like, okay, well, that didn't work, so let's not try it again. Did you give it enough time to actually give it a chance? We quickly want to just blame other people for our problems, right? And blame certain things. But, I think he was good for the room. I think he was good for the community. I think he was good for the brand of the team. I think he was a positive influence. It didn't cost a lot of money. So I don't think you're really going to – I think you're going to miss him. I really do. And I think Florida is really going to love having Joe part of that group, because Florida is right there too. They're right on the edge of being able to seriously contend for a Stanley Cup. Joe Quenneville did great things with that group last year. They had an unbelievable series, losing to the eventual Stanley Cup champions in Tampa. I love this for Florida, and I think the Panthers are going to be really good again.
Well, did he do much for the Leafs, though?
I think so. I think
really?
In terms of culture, I think in terms of, what you bring in leadership. We want to look in analytics and only in analytics all the time, and I think that's good, but you're not bringing him in to score points or to produce offensively at this stage in his career. So Florida's certainly not bringing him in to score a bunch of goals, right? They're bringing him in to have a veteran presence and be on the fourth line and do those things. So I think they'll love him in Florida.
For those tuning in across all 10 provinces and 31 states, and you're wondering where we are, it is Canada Life Center in Winnipeg, the home of the Winnipeg Jets. We're here for the World Junior Lacrosse Championship, and Lacrosse Canada, nice enough, and I got to say his name, Chris Fox, nice enough to drop off these jerseys here on the set.
Now, I got to make sure, because he's texting me. It's not Lacrosse Canada. It's the Canada Lacrosse League.
There you go.
And there's their logos up here on the corner. It's a
Canada
beautiful
Lacrosse League. Yeah.
I want to get it in front of here. Canada Lacrosse League. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it properly, but it's
there
beautiful.
There you go. CLL. Yep.
CLL.
Nice
awesome.
logo.
Yeah, very nice.
It's cold in the barn. Well,
tell me about it. I couldn't take my coat off.
Our crew's over here nodding their head. It reminds me of Phil. And I've told you about Phil, the old Zamboni driver at the Brandt Center in Regina. I used to walk around the bowels of the Brandt Center when I was going to call hockey games. And I'm like, Phil, can you turn up the heat in here? He's like, remember what he say? It's a hockey rink, not a shopping mall.
How about that?
So even though it's August, Even though it's August,
Good one,
it's
Rod.
still cold in the barn. Yes, sir. Well, it wasn't me. It was Phil, who's not with us anymore, but I love that guy. We really gave each other the gears. Sports update. Shohei Ohtani pitched 6 innings of 3-hit ball to win his 3rd consecutive start, and he also doubled and scored an early run in the Angels' 6-3 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays Thursday night. The Jays are at Seattle tonight. They are 2.5 back of the second wildcard spot entering the night. It was a Hollywood ending in a Hollywood ballpark. The Chicago White Sox won the Field of Dreams game in Dyersville, Iowa Thursday night, blowing a 7-4 lead in the 9th before Tim Anderson slammed a 2-run walk-off homer into the cornfields for a 9-8 Chicago win over the New York Yankees. Defending champion Bianca Andreescu tumbled out of the National Bank Open Thursday night in Montreal when Ons Jabeur of Tunisia beat the second-seeded Canadian in 3 sets. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers host the Toronto Argonauts tonight in a matchup between two teams coming off season-opening victories. Winnipeg's offense will be missing star running back Andrew Harris, so running back Brady Oliveira gets a chance for an encore in front of his hometown fans in his first pro start last week. He rushed for 126 yards in that win over Hamilton. McLeod Bethel Thompson earned a 2nd straight start at quarterback for Toronto tonight, but Nick Arbuckle will be available on the sidelines if he's needed. And Mike Weir will be making his debut today at the Shaw Charity Classic at Canyon Meadows Golf and Country Club. The 2003 Masters champion is hoping to become the first Canadian to win a PGA Tour Champions event in his home country. The sports update for dubnetwork.ca and for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars. We'll be right back with overtime after this timeout. You're watching a Flame Tech Football Friday on Game Plus TV and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Patterson, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work and that the people we care most about are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at Flame Tech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
On the road, kicking ass and enjoying a Slurpee. It's Rod Pedersen live in Winnipeg.
Absolutely. It is overtime. Brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the UFC and the Seattle Kraken fan club. Speaking of UFC, former UFC contender and Bellator champion Rory McDonald will look to take out his frustrations on Ray Cooper III tonight when the Canadian welterweight meets the Hawaiian in the Professional Fighters League semifinals at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Just want to throw that out there for the MMA fans. It is our last segment here. I want to tell you that we are open for your comments, 306-840-8777. Haven't had the YouTube and Facebook comments rolling in real time because we are on the road. But just to prove that we are at Sarah Orlesky's table. Look what I found, Moose.
Jets TV, baby.
Right underneath the desk here. Don't worry, Sarah. I'm not taking them with me. The old me might have. But
yeah, there's a lot of goodies under here. We could have some fun.
Jets TV, Winnipeg Jets, some beer stuff. Right. And a big thank you to Chris Fox from Canada Lacrosse League for inviting us down here for the World Junior Lacrosse Championships. And you can watch them all weekend on TSN Direct. And I believe TSN 2 has the game. Pretty big feather in his cap. And these guys for pulling that off.
Oh, yeah. They got a great relationship now with TSN. And we talk about this being Canada East versus Canada West in this, World Juniors. But normally there's 6 to 9 teams here for this, and because of COVID, they can't travel in. So the World Junior Lacrosse Championships, going to be won by one of the 2 Canadian teams. And next year, it'll be middle of August. They're going to bring it back to Winnipeg in this building. Maybe they'll bring us back too. Who knows? But there'll be 6 to 9 international teams taking part again next August. So that'll be cool.
Well, one of the biggest sponsors here for this event is BioSteel. That's the fuel that fuels Connor McDavid, right?
That's right.
And I think Eugenie Bouchard.
That's right.
I'm
Patrick
a BioSteel.
Mahomes, I think, too.
And Patrick Mahomes. So we'll take some sponsorship, BioSteel, if you're throwing it around. The lacrosse folks, of which we are in that community,
yep.
Well, particularly NLL, they're looking at this floor here going, Winnipeg, a lacrosse floor. And apparently this is the old one from the Calgary Roughnecks. People don't miss much, eh? They're writing in saying, why is there a Roughnecks logo?
Yeah.
They're seeing that on television here on Game Plus TV. That's wild. By the way, Josh writing on Twitter, Josh Olson, what is wrong with the Calgary Stampeders? Will they get out of this funk and be the team we all know they are? Or is this the start of a downward spiral? I was kicking this around with the sports doc earlier. What do we call it? Overreaction Monday in the National Football League?
Yeah.
I think we're overreaction Friday in the Canadian Football League. I don't know. Maybe Calgary is not. Maybe they're on a downhill slide. But I'll tell you what. John Hufnagel has got nothing to prove to me. And I don't think he's got much to prove to Canadian football fans since 2008. They haven't had a slide since 2008. Now, there are those that will say, well, he's got different personnel people. He's got his son Cole now finding players for him and overlooking that scouting department. So what? You think Cole Hufnagel doesn't know what he's doing? I guess all this conjecture and hate towards the Calgary Stampeders, because my phone was blowing up. I was telling you this, right? People are blowing up. Oh, great to see Bo throwing interceptions. Great to see Bo upset. And I'm like, that's not me. I don't like to see anybody upset. Bo didn't have his best game. Are we packing the tents on the Calgary Stampeders and Bo Levi Mitchell after 2 games?
I hope not. And put it this way, the league is better when Bo Levi is at his best. Right? And Mike Riley's at his best, and Zach Caleros is at his best, and Cody Fajardo's at his best. You don't want to see quarterbacks struggle like that, and there might be something else wrong with Bo Levi Mitchell. 4 interceptions. That's uncharacteristic. He might be dealing with something. And, let's hope that whatever it is gets cleared up, because it's not a great start for the Calgary Stampeders. But every team goes through it eventually. We just don't ever expect that, clock to hit midnight for Calgary. Maybe it is this year. 2 games far too early, though, to write them off as this being a year they're going to slide. If we're here 2-3 weeks from now and we're still talking about it, then maybe we've got an issue.
Well, I'm just enjoying watching it from the periphery, and I'm not jumping on this pile on the Calgary Stampeders train. They've proved too much. They're still too good, my opinion. Farhan Lalji, by the way, I see on Twitter saying, don't be surprised if kicker Stephen Flintoff makes his way onto the Lions roster next week. Fenicero Yamasaki showed well in camp, but is clearly affected by the stage. We were watching that game last night, enjoying steaks at the keg, and this young Japanese kicker for the BC Lions, he's just not getting it done. Now, they're lucky to pull off the win, but what was he, 2 for 4 last week in Regina, and they lost by 4. He left 6 points on the board. So that would be a sad story if this young global, because you don't think the global fans were pinning their hopes? See? That's how this is supposed to work. And the guy can't make field goals in the big moments.
Well, he looks good at times. Looks really good. And then the other time, it was a duck line drive that almost took out the linesman there, the referee at the goalposts. The stage is big. But, if he's got to go back to the practice roster and continue to work, and then you give him another chance, and if he's got the potential, I like it. Jake Ford punting the football. He made a couple of nice tackles last night too, but they need to make sure they're taking care of those points, because you can't leave those points on the board. You just can't. The game was closer than it needed to be.
Quick, we only got a couple minutes here. Quick thoughts on the other games in the CFL this weekend. Doubleheader Saturday, Montreal at Edmonton. I've got Edmonton to win. Hamilton at Saskatchewan. I've got Saskatchewan to win. Should be great games.
Yeah, it should be really great. I got Montreal in the first one. Before our first chance to see them, right? To see them play. So that's probably the game I'm looking forward to more so than the Saskatchewan-Hamilton game, just because we haven't seen the Alouettes yet. But the other game will be fun too. Those are 2 teams that are supposed to be up at or near the top of the league, Hamilton and Saskatchewan.
Well, we want to throw a shout out to one of our sponsors, that is Ballers Rec Room, Saskatchewan's newest entertainment destination. They get their tailgate party rolling 4 hours prior to kickoff right on their grounds. They're located right on the heart of the Dudney Strip, so it's 4 p.m. at Ballers, ahead of the Riders and the Ticats. Winnipeg, thank you so much for having us. Thank you to the Canada Lacrosse League for welcoming us down here to the World Junior Lacrosse Championship, and Chris Fox and all the guys, and Jeff Dowling for coming on. Our guests today, Andrew Hustler Patterson, the sports doctor, Dave Petrishen. It has been a blast. Thank you, Moose. Great job pulling it off. And to our entire IKS crew, we'll see you Monday, noon Eastern, here on Game Plus TV. Angering people is a gift of mine.